Have you ever been betrayed? If so, what were your actions following the betrayal? I'll remember, perhaps as long as I live, 40 years ago or so, Pastor Clinton Fick at Muldoon Community Assembly in Anchorage, Alaska, did a communion service, and it stuck in my mind. He said, on the night Jesus was betrayed, he took bread, and when he had given thanks, he broke it. His question was, what would you do on the night you were betrayed? Church fathers and even current scholars believe that Psalm 23 is a prophecy and a messianic psalm, a psalm about the Messiah, when it says, "Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies." This live stream is on a Thursday, Monday, Thursday. Most of the people don't watch when I post, so it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday for many of you. But I'm live streaming on Thursday of Holy Week, where the thought takes us to Holy Communion, the Passover celebration that Jesus served to his disciples. And he took the bread and he said, before I serve everybody, the person I hand this to, after I dip it into the juice, the person I hand it to will betray me. If you knew somebody was at your table, which in that culture, to eat at table was a high relational statement, but even like King David, Ahithophel was a betrayer at King David's table. But in the case of the Last Supper, so to speak, it was known to Jesus that the person I hand this to will betray me. I think about that, and I wonder if that was a nice way for Jesus to say, you can reconsider. You don't have to do this. I'm serving you first. I'm speaking in a few weeks in Thailand, and the topic given to me is, blessed are you when men persecute you and revile you and say all manner of evil against you for my name's sake. To say, even before you betray me, knowing that you will betray me, I want to serve you this communion. I want to serve you the bread and the cup of the Passover. Others would have a view of something along the lines of when Jesus said, now, what thou doest, do quickly. It's like, okay, you're first because I know you got some stuff you're going to go do. I don't know the intent of Jesus' heart in serving Judas first. But I do know it says, thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. There is included in this a awareness of divine provision in the face of opposition, that God will give you the bread of heaven even when people oppose you, even when people are against you, or and not necessarily just people, but friends, people that you have named as close to you. There are still, I know of many a couple whose mate became their enemy, and their mate took all their strength and resources to ruin the person. I don't know how many times I know of false accusations toward somebody in a marriage so that the other spouse could get control of the kids or the money or the house. In this case, we are reflecting on Jesus at Passover, and he is washing the feet. If I understand correctly, that included Judas' feet. He served the Passover meal. That included Judas. And as I understand this to be, this is Jesus in a high-level maturity, being able to bless those who persecute him. Now, probably you and I aren't that gifted yet. It's very hard for us to bless those who persecute us. I know people that are being religiously persecuted. I know some women whose husbands have been martyred for the faith. And when you talk to them, they say, pray for us. We're having a hard time praying and blessing the people who did the martyring. I understand that. I would have a huge trouble with that as well. Nonetheless, as we think about, there are different degrees, I would say, of like fragmented relationships, broken relationships, distraught relationships, and even relationships in which you were betrayed. And all of them carry a degree of pain. All of them carry a degree of loss. And I think Jesus' emotions are often not ignored, but that we fail to recognize his emotions. How did it feel to be fully human and know that this guy that you had served faithfully, he had served faithfully for several years, was going to sell his life? It wasn't that he betrayed him, actually. I mean, only. He not only betrayed him, he sold his life. he basically paid hitmen 30 pieces of silver to kill Jesus. And, if somebody looks at us wrong, we can get offended and run and take our toys. And brothers and sisters, I recommend to you, and you can recommend to me, that we learn from Jesus this sacred week, the last week of his life. Matter of fact, up to 30 to 40% of the gospel writers spend their time on this 1 week in the life of Jesus. We learn so much about how to deal with betrayal on Holy Thursday, on the day that Jesus served communion, traditionally served communion to people who betray him. And so the Bible also talks about pray for those that betray you or despitefully use you or persecute you. I don't check the news for a variety of reasons, but I heard that on Palm Sunday in Nigeria, someone broke in and killed a bunch of Christians. And as a fellow Christian, our responsibility is care, concern, love, help, blessing. I think people are confused between what Christians are supposed to do and what presidents are supposed to do. The national leaders have a different job description than a Christian person does. And so, like, if I went over and just started killing the people that were martyring folks, this would be entirely wrong and inappropriate, all the way through, bad. If government takes military action against them, that's the responsibility of the government. That's sort of in their job description. Nonetheless, as you and I contemplate who has sat at our table and betrayed us, who has participated in the closeness of a meal and yet spoken poorly of you or of me, as we do, we learn from Jesus that we have emotions, we feel our emotions, and we overcome them and ask God for the grace to wash their feet and serve them first.